So,
Mm.
that
That was a good time to go live. Cheers.
Cheers.
Your glass is prettier than mine.
Well, you know. I won't make any excuses. To everybody who's tuning in to this video, checking us out, thank you for checking out this video. We are honored to have Lisa Marie Simmons of Hippie Tendencies and NoteSpeak visiting with us, chatting. She's a busy sister doing some things. So welcome, welcome.
Oh, yay! Well, thank you so much for having me. I am thrilled to speak with you every time that I can.
I'm thrilled to have you here. You are an inspiration. You're doing things, big things.
Ah, gosh.
You know. So tell the people. So let's talk about. I know a little bit about you. I know that you were born and raised in Colorado. You're in Italy now. How does a young sister Colorado to Italy? Give us a little bit of your background and that journey.
Gosh, that's sort of a long story, but yeah, following music. I went to study music and theater in New York City. And after that, I went from New York. I studied at the American Academy of Dramatic Arts and then privately. And then from there, I went to France, and where I sang in like some jazz clubs in the south of France for a while. Met a French man and tooled around France with him, lived in Paris for a little bit. And then from there, I went to the Caribbean, Saint Martin, and I did some disco music there. And then from there, I lived there for a year and a half. And from there, I went to Amsterdam, to Holland, and worked with Boom Chicago, which at the time was super cool. Now it's sort of franchised out. It's not as hip as it used to be, but it was really fun. It was a really fun place to work. And then from Boom Chicago, from Amsterdam, I went to South America and Central America and worked around there. And then I came to Italy. So it was all roundabout, but I sort of, did some recording in each place or just sang in clubs and bars and on beach bars and wherever they'd have me, and followed musicians around and ended up putting down some roots here in Italy. I've been here for 20 years now.
Wow.
Yeah.
I had no idea you've been there that long.
Yes, I have.
Italy almost now, huh?
Yeah. I tell people I'm half Italian. I know all their customs and.
You fluent in Italian?
Sorry, yeah, I live with an Italian. My whole band, both of my bands, the different bands, Hippie Tendencies and NoteSpeak, they're all Italian. So yes.
So you're pretty fluent in the language too?
Yeah, I feel comfortable speaking it. I speak Italian more than I speak English. In our warm up to this interview, you heard me stumbling over my words, going, "Wait, I don't speak English anymore." I spend my whole days speaking Italian, and sometimes it seems ridiculous, but sometimes I do stumble over my English.
That's pretty cool, though. I like that. So let's start with Hippie Tendencies.
All right.
Tell us about Hippie Tendencies. I know you have a few albums. We got the CDs in the car.
I'm glad you have those in the car. They're good. It's good traveling music, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
it's good road music. We did the road test. You know the road test when you're doing the CD and you've got the master in hand, and that's the thing that tells you, okay, do we go ahead with this? Is it all ready to go? Is putting it in the van radio, the CD and driving around, and if it makes good driving around music and you can hear everything, is balanced out, then it works.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. Hippie Tendencies. So Marco. Mm-hmm. The pianist and co-composer and co-founder of you sneak in that little glass of that little I met Marco because I went to I wanted to deepen my understanding of the piano. I wanted some lessons from him, you know. And I'd been in Italy for a little while at that point, and I went to him for lessons, and I sat down at the piano and I played something, and he said, "Yeah, you could use some help with your piano skills, but I love the way you sing and I love the way you write. Is this your stuff?" And I said, "Yeah." And he said, "Well, let's put together a band." And so we put together Hippie Tendencies, and within 2 weeks we had written our first song, which is "Feel No Pain." And he pulled in the drummer and the bassist, Cesare Valbusa and Massimo Saviola. I pulled in Filippo De Paoli, who on guitar and second voice, and we just had alchemy. You know, everything just went together really, really well. It's years. We've been together now, like 10 years. Yeah. I don't know how to describe the music. I mean, I wrote a song trying to describe it, which is poppy rock. Because, you know, I send out stuff to jazz festivals, and they say, "Oh, you're much too pop for us." And then I send it out to pop festivals, and they say, "Oh, you're much too jazz for us." So finding that balance, like the place that we fit in, has not been easy, but we work really well. We work really well.
Okay. And so how many, I know you have at least what, 2, 3 CDs that you've done?
We have 2 CDs out, and we're writing now. We're writing. We'd like to continue doing something. We got sidetracked with NoteSpeak, Marco and I, trying to do something different. Marco was very inspired to go in another direction and work also with other musicians, because we have been together with Hippie Tendencies for a long time. So we wanted to try to branch out and work with other people, keep inspired, keep the juices flowing, you know. And so we got a little sidetracked, but we'll come back and do another album with Hippie Tendencies for sure. But there's the first one, which carries the same name as the band, Hippie Tendencies. And then the second one is called Identity.
So you said you're kind of pop, you're kind of jazz. It kind of puts me in the mind frame of, let's say, an Incognito or Brand New Heavy.
Is that what you think of when you listen to it? That's a huge compliment. I love the Brand New Heavies.
Yeah, that's what I. So yeah, that was my thought. Was there some kind of influence or inspiration, and who do you think about? Who would you say you sound like other than just yourself?
It's so hard to answer that question. You know, I really think that other people have to say what they think I sound like, because I just, you know, depending on what kind of work I'm looking for, I tend to take what people say I sound like and then put that on whatever it is, like, you know, whatever I'm working on, you have to put sounds like, because I personally, I don't know what I sound like. I don't know. I know that it is confusing sometimes to people. And it's funny because when people come and see us live, then they go, I get it. And then I say, but how would you classify it? How can you tell me what that is? And they're always at a loss, you know? I'm influenced by, I think, and the thing is that every musician in the group is influenced by everything they've ever heard, as am I. So putting a label on it is so hard. I'm very much, my mother listened to a lot of folk music, and it's something that you don't normally expect to hear from a Black American woman, but you know, I listened to like Simon and Garfunkel and Joni Mitchell and James Taylor and all this kind of stuff when I was growing up. And from my father's side, a lot of jazz. So I think that I mix those two things up, and I'm passionate about lyrics. I'm passionate about words. And that comes from, you know, poetry also and books. And so what is that at the end? I don't know. I don't know. I think it's okay. I think it's okay not to sound like someone.
And it is. Like I said, that was my thought frame. You know, I really love Brand New Heavies and Incognito. I used to play them back to back, and when I heard, I was
Incognito, like, fantastic.
Wow! As soon as I heard you, I was like, okay, you know.
I love that reference. You're not the first one, but it's not a reference that I get a lot.
They're back. You have to really
that's exactly it. You have to have lived through it and to know them. But yeah.
Exactly. So yeah, so NoteSpeak now. Tell us about NoteSpeak.
So NoteSpeak is our new baby, and I'm so in love with the project. It's as far as it's begun really well. Let's say that. We've had a lot of great collaborations. We have a guy called Fulvio Sigurta, who's an incredible trumpet player on it, and Machan Taylor, also, who's an incredible singer. But we just have a lot of great people on the effort, and it's sort of now here I can say it's definitely partly inspired by people like Gil Scott-Heron. The revolution will not be televised, you know, that whole thing. We noticed that there's a lot of, it's becoming more and more there are more and more offers out there of spoken word with music underneath it. But I think it's really difficult to find something where it's really well integrated, you know, and we wrote these together so that, though they can each stand alone, I can think that my writing can stand alone and Marco's music could stand alone, but they are exponentially greater together. And that was our objective in writing this stuff. So Marco is very much jazz based, and he's the arranger and composer of everything. We work together on the melodies, and but it's really his brainchild. And then sometimes a piece would start from a poem that I wrote, and then Marco would go and work on it, or sometimes something, and gave it to me and let me be inspired with it and take it somewhere. So, but the thing was that we worked together through each piece. We didn't work separately. Like I wrote something entirely and gave it to him. We sort of, it was a collaborative process.
Okay.
Yeah.
Excellent. So what is, I know you said you're back to Hippie Tendencies, but what do you want to do with NoteSpeak? What's your thought process? Where do you want to go with that?
Wow, that's such a good question. I feel like it's some of Marco's best work, certainly. And I feel the same way for myself as well. I mean, before we did our American debut which you saw, of NoteSpeak, I was a little bit, I'll admit, intimidated because it was this international book festival, literature festival, and I thought they're all writers out there in the audience. Like, is this gonna hold up? And then as we were preparing for it and rehearsing it, I thought, no, actually, I'm really proud of this stuff. It's okay. It's going to work out well. And as you know, it was a great debut. Yeah. So I'm proud of it. And because of that, because I think that a lot of the stuff that we talk about in the album is important and stuff that's not necessarily being spoken about. I think I want it to go to big stages. I want to play big jazz festivals with it. You know, I want to take it as far as it'll go and play to as many people as I possibly can. And sorry about that ding. I don't know what that was.
All right, sorry. You're in demand. I understand.
But yeah, I just feel like it's worthy. Do you know? I feel like it's something that people want to hear.
So what kind of poet would you say you are then when you talk about you know, the stage and how you write? Would you say political poetry, love poetry, just everyday poetry? What do you talk about? And what?
All three of those subjects. I have, you know, so many. I should get up and bring you all of my notebooks that are stacked around here in this studio. I mean, I write about everything on my blog as well, and in my music. It could be every day. I do tend towards the political. If I have to choose one, I do tend towards that. But you know, it depends on what's happening in life at the moment and what you're feeling most deeply. You know, you're a poet. What are you feeling most deeply? What needs to get out, or what needs to be said that's not being said, or it depends on the moment, but I'll write about anything. It's what I do. And I'm not limited to one form. But if I do tend towards something, it would be politics. How can we not, like, right now with what's happening with the kids in Florida and this great movement that's building up? I am so inspired by them that yesterday I sat down. I had to go out and gig, but I in the afternoon I was just so flabbergasted by their bravery, courage, determination that I wanted to write about them. And I think that happens a lot with politics. It's very stirring because when you see people gunned down in the streets, or you see people struggling to get into another country, or whatever it is, that humanity, that thing that ties us all together is so strong, and it pulls me in. I want to talk about that.
Right. I feel you. I definitely, and I've been tossing that around as well. What do I need to write? How do I need to direct this energy? So
right.
I definitely understand where you're coming from. So
yeah, and it's hard though, isn't it? Because how do you not offend people? I don't care about offending people, honestly, but how do you? It's so important to just speak the truth of whatever it is that you're seeing, and to reflect that out, and let people who don't have a voice be heard, and participate. I mean, there's so many ways of approaching it. I like speaking to other writers.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know you get it.
Exactly, and you talk about the offending. You don't want to offend, but you have to say the truth. You have to speak
exactly
plainly. You have to speak bluntly and directly. And so many people are so sensitive, and so you want to celebrate and be conscious of sensitivities, but at the same time you have to say, I can't dance around your sensitivity.
Right. This is the truth. This is truth that I'm speaking. Yes, that's exactly it. That's exactly.
Definitely understand that. And as a writer, as an artist, trying to put that out there, it can be a challenge.
Walk that line, because you do want to speak to as wide an audience as possible. You want to find your tribe and speak to your people, but you also want to, if you can change hearts and minds in a positive sense,
right.
Why not do that? And certainly not be. I'm such an anti-conformist. I don't believe in packaging it up so that it's for mass consumption.
Right. Exactly. So one of your poems is up for an award, Independent Music Award.
Yay!
What is that piece? And obviously I heard it. I voted for it. Let people know where they need to go to vote for it. But tell us a little bit about it and what's going on with that.
Oh gosh. Okay, so I'm excited and happy. It's the Independent Music Awards, and we put our music up there. And we actually were. I guess when did they let us know? I guess it was a month ago. And I was reading a book. I was reading Patti Smith's Just Kids, which is such a great book, and I recommend it to everybody out there. And got an email that said congratulations, and I was like, yes. Because as an independent musician, you've got to have thick skin, and you hear no a lot. So to hear yes and congratulations is a fantastic thing. It's a great contest that is Tom Waits' baby. And so also the idea that he's listening to everybody now this is horrible, because Every Generation's War. I was about to make a mistake about the title of my own poem. Every Generation's War is the name of the one that's up there. And we were fan nominated. So we had a lot of people coming up and enjoying, liking it and putting it forward. And now we're in the finals, and it's exciting and great and wonderful. And we'll see what happens with that. It's just the only thing that I would really love is just having a wider platform you know, that's what I hope that this will bring, you know, bring us to the attention of some people that will then eventually bring me to the stages that I want to play. That's my hopes for this award. I don't care whether I win or not. I just would like, you know, some people in the industry to take notice.
Okay, so is there a link, a site where people can go to number one?
There is. It's the. Is there any way we can link to this? I don't know, but it's the Independent Music Awards. So it's easy to find online. And if you go on, you can just sign up and vote. We're in the spoken word category, and the name of the group is NoteSpeak. The name of the song is Every Generation's War, and that's on independentmusicawards.com.
Excellent, excellent. Okay, excellent. So I'm not going to keep you too long, but I do want to talk about your next visit back to Colorado in April. What's going on with that?
That's going to be so much fun. And so when we were there presenting our debut in Boulder, Colorado in September for NoteSpeak, we were seen by some people who are organizing the conference on world affairs that takes place at the campus, the University of Colorado in Boulder. And they asked me to participate. So I'm going to be a panelist for that and probably do, you know, some performances. And I'm really looking forward to it. It's such a unique gathering of people from every sector imaginable. And these panels speak about everything under the sun. In fact, conference on world affairs. You can imagine how many subjects are approached. It's fascinating, and I'm really excited to be a part of that. And while I'm there, I'll do some shows. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm trying to change my ticket so I can get to New York, to Lincoln Center, where the award ceremony is for the Independent Music Awards. And coincidentally, it's the day before I arrive in Colorado for this other thing. So I'm trying to get everything in there, you know, try to get everywhere.
Right. I looked up that panel and the organization, and you're in some great company. You've had vice presidents that have presented. I think Biden has been there, definitely.
Yeah, Biden has been there. Ariana Huffington has been there. Some really impressive names. Yeah, it's a little bit intimidating, but super exciting.
Oh, you'll be great. Do you know what panel you'll be on? What topic you might be discussing?
That's a really good question. There's going to be several. We haven't received our panel list yet, but I'll be on several. It's a week-long event, so I'll be on several different ones. And I like the premise. So what they ask is that everyone that has been invited as a speaker, so that's 100 of us, they ask you to put forward your ideas of what you'd like to speak about. And of course, I, you know, talked about the realm of what I am not an expert in. Well, yeah, but an expert. It's what I've been doing all my life, poetry and music. So I talked about those two subjects and put forth some ideas. But every sector puts forth an idea. So on my panel, talking about music and poetry, I'll have scientists and tech people, tech engineers, environmentalists, gay activists, talking about my subject, and then I'll do the same on theirs. And that's what I think is unique to their program, is this mix of different minds approaching the hot topics, the hot buttons that are out there today.
And saying that scientists will be discussing music and poetry and how that relates to the world is very interesting.
Isn't it?
That's gonna be interesting to see.
I know. I can't wait. I am thrilled. I cannot wait to see what that brings.
So in case people are looking at this and they're saying, okay, yeah, I want to go check that out. When is it?
This is in April. It's this. I don't have the dates right in front of me. It's really bad. I believe it begins. Let me look. I'm looking on my calendar, and I'll tell you to be precise. I believe it begins the 6th, but I don't want to say things that are not true. So let me tell you accurately. Yes, it begins actually on the 9th. On the 6th, I'll be playing at Highland City Club in Boulder, Colorado. I'll have a concert there on the 6th. And then on the 9th, the Conference of World Affairs begins, and it runs through the week. It ends on the 13th of April. So that's coming up soon. Getting ready to do that.
Excellent. Excellent. Well,
I like your hat.
Thank you kindly. Thank you kindly.
You look cute.
I'm not gonna lie. I was looking at the video image of me before we started. I was like, I didn't cut my hair. I'm gonna need to put
I was like, do I need to put my contact lenses on for these people? But you all can love me with my glasses on. It's a Sunday afternoon.
Exactly. So I just wanted to say, like I said, I'm very inspired by you. I love your work. I loved your performance. You had great stage presence. Your show was great. Your singing, the music was great. Your poetry. I mean, I love your artistry. So that's why I wanted to talk to you.
You're so kind, and you have such a gift with words as well. So that it means a lot when somebody says that and they know what it means, what it takes to do it. So that's a huge compliment. Thank you so much for that. Because right back at you.
Well, I appreciate you, and like I said, we're going to work together.
We are.
But I want to hear your voice to my words and hear Marco's music to your voice. So we got to put all that together.
We're going to do it. I am completely 100% on board, as is Marco. We cannot wait to do something with you.
Good. So I know that it's 1 o'clock here, but it's 8 o'clock there. So you're about to get something to eat. So I want you to have a great.
My man is making me pizza. My Italian man is down in the kitchen making me my pizza. Yeah. Sunday night is pizza night. And Marco is the chef.
Well, great. Well, tell him hello. Looking forward to meeting him. Thank you so much for taking the time.
Sweetheart, thank you so much for asking me to. It was really great to do this. And I can't wait to see you in April.
Looking forward to it. All right.
All right.
You have a good evening and much success, and ciao bella.
Oh, he brings up the Italian. Yeah. Grazie mille, troppo gentile, veramente. That was so much fun. Thank you for reals. That was really great.
Thank you. I will talk with you again later. I'll send you.
All right.
Share it all over the world.
All right.
All right. And talk to you later.
Ciao.